Welcome back to Metroid Fusion, everyone. Good to see you safe. We're preparing for our boss fight as the ominous music and alien environment is telling us some sort of peculiar being is doubtless ahead. Is it going to be plant life? Something like spore spawn? What do we have? Our Core X forms up, and it is this thing. This is Zazabi, a peculiar creature that looks somewhat like a polyp of some kind, or possibly a human cone cell from the eye. Zazabi jumps around a lot. You have to fire a missile into the middle of it to damage that eye, and various segments will explode when you actually hit it. Dodge Zazabi's attacks, and if it swallows you, you will need to use bombs to get out. It's a very, very strange creature, and it perfectly fits this alien environment we're seeing in the background. Nearly defeated. It does telegraph its attack somewhat, so just as long as I wait. This is probably one of the more relaxed and easy boss fights in the whole game, really. Shouldn't take too much longer. 10 missiles to dispatch Zazabi. And you will need a few more missiles to take out that Core X. Three and 4 take it down. And guess what we've recovered? The high jump and jump ball. Sometimes known as the spring ball, that lets you jump in morph ball form, which is actually useful. It's an optional item in Super Metroid. So we've reclaimed what we need, and we have to head back up this way. This will allow us to proceed through the rest of the sector. We can also grab some pickups along the way too. Let's head back and also take note of this. The Zeros are starting to pupate. You won't have trouble with them. And the door's been destroyed. The SAX really doesn't want us wandering around. Let's just check the map again. We will have to go a different way, I believe. We'll have to go... Well, we can't go through there. There's some solution I'm missing here, I'm sure of it. I feel slightly embarrassed. Yeah. That's what this room is important for. That's who's been following you. You do not want to hear those footsteps. The Heartbeat soundtrack also amplifies when the SAX is nearby, which is a pretty impressive touch. And as you'll see, that thing I mentioned about pupating, Zeros are actually the larval form of key hunters, and key hunters are a pain in this game. But we can grab a few pickups along the way. Another missile tank. We'll mostly be getting missile tanks. The enemies here are Skull Terrors. You will have to worry about those a bit later on. Bomb the right spot in the floor for those shutters to help us. We can pick them up fairly early, it's worth noting. A little slow, but there we are. That flower on the floor is a good little guide. We will have to use the jump ball for this one. That should get it. Nice. Don't need to jump off that. And we can head back out with our new spoils. We'll have to be quick. So as you've seen, those do a bit of damage. Just look at the roots poking out through there. Tree roots can be incredibly strong. We can also proceed using the high jump. There's not much more we can do in the previous areas, so we will just have to head up here and we can use these as platforms. Kind of reminds me of looking for cicada shells when I was a kid. Not going to be able to get in there, sadly. It was one of the really fun parts about just looking around. We could find cicada shells all over the place, really. So let's check with the... Just had to make sure. Yeah, finding cicada shells was a real treat as a kid. Quite a few of them would often be found on an old wooden fence we had. So let's go up here and we can proceed. Don't fly out of the room. That was quick. We can get a little secret here. It's amazing how much those interesting little hobbies you have as a kid, or those little things you find, can bring back such good memories. I think I've still got a fair few little things that I just sort of found on an adventure once visiting my grandparents. It's just nice memories of simpler times. And I know it's strange for their extremely dangerous aliens to provide a reminder of that, because you are going to hate the key hunters. But in all fairness, I do think it is a nice little reminder. So doing pretty well for missiles. There is a blue door back in Sector 1, but there's no real reason to visit it. We've done pretty much everything we can here for now. If it seems short, don't worry, we are getting back there eventually. There is one more missile tank though. Jump over those Kagos. You might have seen some of them in Super Metroid. They didn't damage you, but they would spit out a lot of supplies. With the high jump... I said, with the high jump, we can clear it. They are fairly damaging. But we've been able to get past them, and there is a recharge station nearby. So we might as well top ourselves up. And we'll head on into the next room. and talk to Adam.
Samus, we've got trouble. Releasing the security lock may have been a bad idea. The SAX has invaded the water environment in Sector 4 AQA with several thousand X. With the blue hatches active, the SAX slipped in easily. The creatures and systems in Sector 4 are already showing multiple irregularities. I'm currently investigating. I'll brief you in the navigation room when you arrive. Is your objective clear? Now, head for Sector 4.
So things are already going from bad to worse. The SAX. An enemy with my strongest abilities. But does it have reason? Probably not. It's just a killing machine. In my current state, I can't face it head on. The SAX is me, only heartless. I must stop it before it learns its potential and threatens the universe. You see why the space pirates are so afraid of Samus. She really is that powerful. Fortunately, it's not too far to Sector 4, which, in terms of its atmosphere and ambience, is probably one of my favourite areas. Not probably, definitely. My favourite sector in the game. It just sort of resonated with me. Our map.
This sector has taken more damage than expected. I knew the X were powerful and destructive, but still. This seems to be purposeful. We certainly can't rule out the possibility that the SAX has a high degree of intelligence. I find the X fascinating, especially this SAX. But I digress. This sector is home to a very large creature the researchers called Serris. It is capable of moving and attacking at ultra-high speed. The more senseless and widespread destruction here may be attributable to Serris. No doubt the SAX released it, but I can't be sure why yet. Serris has returned off into the breeding tank here. Its natural behavior must be to go back to it periodically. It's a valuable specimen, but you have been authorized to terminate it. If you don't, it may invade other sectors. Is your objective clear? While you're moving, be careful. Some broken power nodes have electrified the water, but we can't cut the power. Doing so would affect the whole station adversely. If you touch the water, you'll be electrocuted. Conserve energy as you go.
So, fairly dire situation ahead. But we have some pretty good music, so I'll let you listen to that as I journey through Sector 4. As I was saying, I really, really like the design of the music in here. It just has that slightly off feeling. It seems just that little bit nerve-wracking, that little bit dangerous, that everything is really, really off. And it is a major factor Music like that is a major factor in why this game seems to work so well. The way it makes you feel. How it influences what you do. It's really, really enjoyable. I honestly remember the first time playing this, just going through Sector 1, finding out what to do. Or trying to anyway, and just the tension I felt from everything. Let's see, I think we do have... Can't do anything about that. There is one more missile expansion in here. Was it here? Yes, it was. We'll grab a few of those along the way. But of course, we are going to have to hurry to find out what's going on with Serris. And of course, don't touch that water. If there's a dial around, you can probably touch that. Actually, judging by the way this station has gone, don't touch that dial. And we'll move on to some of the tanks where we'll be meeting a few more Skull Terrors. We want to take out these as quickly as possible. If we are going into the tanks, we do have to, at one point, we have to make sure they don't wind up transforming into larger ones, since they can be damaged, as you can see there, by charge shots and missiles. Three missiles, 2 charge shots. So of course we have a little more exploring to do. And the fact that you do have to hunt down Serris in this particular moment, I think it just adds to the music really adds to the tension. The atmosphere is pretty good too. Sort of dark, damaged, little bit sinister. New energy tank. And we're just sort of left wondering what's going to be next. That was what really appealed about this game when I played it for the first time. Just sort of what actually is going to happen, because I sort of knew the basics of what happened. But it was incredible discovering everything, finding out just how badly wrong things went, really. So, can we go through anywhere here? Nope. We're not too far from Serris. That was rude. That was my own fault. Rushed a little bit. Oh. Well, we'll have to top our health up a little bit. See, we don't just fall into the water. Given I'm a Goon Show fan, that probably would be a perfect opportunity for the "he's fallen in the water" bit to show up. But I doubt I could do the voice like Peter Sellers does. So we'll have a bit of bombing work to do. Because if we go down there, high voltage death waits for us. Let's see. Would really help if I didn't keep running into all the enemies. I think we can get an item by going this way. Well, there's definitely this. And that might allow us to top up our health too. get into here. Is there any... There isn't really anywhere we can go. At least not there. But make sure to bomb your way through here, because I completely forgot you were meant to when I was doing the practice recording, so I was wondering what was going on. What was going on was that I was just an idiot. If we go through here, we will find the pump control unit, which is very important, but also very blocked off. There's nothing we can do about it for now. Okay, I didn't know you could shoot those. And we can actually bomb that to move through here. I've been using missiles on them because that's basically how you dealt with the ones in Super Metroid. Excuse me. I've really got no one but myself to blame for that. Hold on. Through here. And there's a save point here. And we desperately need to get into that breeding tank. Oh no. Oh bloody hell. Well, that's not good. Serris has been stripped to the bone, and it looks like the X are responsible. It's a giant Ghidorah waiting for us, and dodging it in the water is going to be a nuisance. Well, there's no way out. Looks like next episode, we are going to tackle Serris. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I'll see you next time for more Metroid Fusion. Stay safe out in space.